What's up, everybody? I almost got it together. Let me put the people on the screen so you can see. Hey, there we go. Welcome to All Things Fantasy Grounds Talk Show on this Sunday night. Let me give the disclaimer before we start, which is I have it memorized, I would think. I don't have it on my screen like I normally do. But the things that we say on the show tonight are not the opinions of Smiteworks USA LLC or Fantasy Grounds. They're just the three of us, soon to be four, I hope. But say hello to my co-host, Robin.
Hello.
And say hello to our special guest, Kelsey Dionne from DM's Guild. Well, she's not from DM's Guild, but that's mainly what we're going to talk about. She also has a website. Is it the Arcane Library or just Arcane Library?
Sure. I bought both domains.
What? Oh my God, you're just all over it. Let me bring that up on the screens for people to see. I'll go here and bring up Arcane Library, and then I'll put it in the chat for people. But anyway, welcome to the show. Awesome to have you.
Thank you.
I thought we would start maybe by, Kelsey, tell us a little bit about your background. Like, how did you get into role-playing? How did you start the Arcane website? You know, tell us your whole story as you would like to tell it.
I'll try to keep it to the abbreviated version, but so I've been playing D&D for a long time. I grew up in southern Wisconsin and didn't realize that I was growing up in TSR zone, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just didn't know. I was very lucky. And so my friends when I was maybe 12 or 11 invited me to the local game store to come play this game that I had heard of called D&D. And I walked in there and there were people playing, and I went back every Saturday for the rest of my time living in that town. And my first dungeon master was this really awesome guy named James Mishler. And I didn't know this at the time, but he's like the living authority on the city state of the Invincible Overlord.
I've never heard of that one.
It's old. I know. I wouldn't have either without him, but it was the first city setting ever made for D&D. And he's
cool.
the most expert on this setting. He's been tapped a few times to write for it now, as they're updating it in more recent editions. But so I was so lucky. I was so lucky that he was my dungeon master, and I just loved the game so much. I never stopped playing. I did a journalism degree in college, and then did all sorts of weird things with my life after college, and then kind of realized that writing D&D was what I loved to do the most. And so I was like, why don't I try to do this for real?
For real.
So I tried. Yeah.
I was fascinated. I'm going to retweet our show, so if you see me looking down, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I was fascinated when I found out you had been a journalist. That's incredible.
Thank you.
Super cool. I also used to do journalism, so
how did I not know that? What the hell? I don't know enough about
yes.
Associated
you
knew, you just forgot.
That's
yes.
right. That's more technically correct. I totally knew and just forgot, because I'll forget everybody's name the next day. Well, that's awesome. And how did you? And so, okay, so how I came to know you was actually 3 years ago, when you did the Secret of Skyhorn Lighthouse. Is that the right name? Did I say it right?
That is. You said it.
And our buddy Alan Dodge, Gwydion, had converted that for you to Fantasy Grounds. And guys,
Thank you, Alan.
Yes, and he might even be in the chat right now.
I love you, man.
Thanks, Alan.
Yes, he is. Gwydion has subscribed. Thank you, sir. But yeah, he did that.
Oh yeah.
And Gwydion in the house, right? And then you told me you sold, or it was a pay what you want or a free, and you said you did 60,000 copies. Is that right?
Oh my
That's
God.
right.
That blew my mind. I know that. I was like, what the hell? And
blew my mind.
And so 3 years later now, you've done the sequel, which is not free. Hello, it's not free, everybody. And we did the Fantasy Grounds module, and we're going to look at that tonight. And it is pretty cool. And then you just have a multitude of things on the Arcane Library website. I didn't even know. I just thought, oh, great, she did a thing, and now she's done a second thing. I go to Arcane Library. She's been working, people. She has a lot of stuff. Actually, let's look at that a minute.
Yeah, show it off.
So yeah, so here's the one we're going to talk about tonight, the Corruption of Skyrim Lighthouse. And I recognize these ultimate bundles. I don't do very much on the DM's Guild myself that has to do with print, but I do recognize these because I saw them and they were pretty high up on the ratings for a long time when you first put them out, I think. And
Thank
then,
you. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, go
Wow.
ahead.
Oh no,
let
so
her
they're
speak.
no, I'm interrupting you now. They're technically on drive-through because DM's Guild does not allow you to sell card type products.
Right.
Yeah, so they're
Oh,
on
I don't even
drive-through
think.
and my
Yeah,
website.
I don't think I
Mhm.
knew that till you just educated me because I don't do card types, but I do remember seeing them. And then you've got the bundle of horror with all these 4 things, and then you've just got a bunch of stuff. So yeah, people should definitely. Oh, there's your picture. People should definitely check it out. And get on her mailing list and everything. So just go do it, everybody. I'm just saying, just
Thank
do
you.
it.
So I have a question already.
Yeah.
Sorry, Rob. Is the bundle of horrors, is it just for adventures or is it supplementary content too?
It's a good question. It's for adventures.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yep. And
I
someday
like adventures.
I know. That's what I do. I'm definitely want to write like supplementaries. I have like some I guess yeah, like supplements that are short, and I'm actually working on a large like collection of a lot of supplementary information that won't really have adventures in it so much, but that's the date on that is absolutely no. I have no idea when that's
Makes
gonna be
sense.
done.
Cool.
And you also have collaborated on other projects that are on the guild as well, right? Your name appears in a bunch of, like, if you search your name, you'll find a bunch of stuff that wasn't just you alone, right?
Yeah, a couple of
Yeah.
things for sure.
Okay,
Mhm.
cool.
Can you
all
name
right.
a few?
I can. You know how I can do it?
Not you, her.
I know. But I'm going to show everybody. I'm going to show everybody the.
Okay.
There's some stuff. I think Monsters of the Guild was the big
Oh,
one
that's
that
a
was.
big one.
That's where, yes, because I did that as well.
Yeah, that's where I first kind of crossed paths with you, sort of indirectly. I
Yeah,
think.
we never talked, but
But you were fun in the conversations that I was seeing
oh,
happening.
I'm so fun.
I was like, he's fun.
So yeah, so if you guys here, I'll put this link in the chat for everybody too. If you go here, this is all the stuff she's been involved with.
Thank you.
And Monsters of the Guild and Monsters Without Borders, yeah, and then the Fantasy Grounds. I did the Fantasy Grounds for Monsters of the Guild, so that was me. Skyhorn, yeah. Okay, good. So
Cool.
let's take a look, how shall we? I need to share my screen with you guys so you guys can see this. I want to say it's this button. Oh, maybe I have to turn off my camera first. I don't know how this works. How's this work, you guys? Is this? Oh yeah, okay, here we go. Can you guys see my screen now?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
All right, so Corruption of Skyhorn Lighthouse. Now this is a sequel. The first adventure you did was what levels again?
The very first one was 5th level.
And this is 8th, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I had to think for a second.
You were struggling to remember. So,
Yes.
Tell us about. I mean, I can walk through it. I can just page through it and show everybody. But is there a particular things you'd like to highlight, or anything you'd like people to know about it that don't have it that might want to get it?
Sure. Well, I think, and I mean, this comes through, I think, in the way that you guys converted it, but there isn't like boxed text, which is kind of a big thing that people notice at first. There's just kind of like bullet lists of information that you can narrate however you want.
Gotcha.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So
that's what I do.
It gives the DM the chance to just make up, like, here's the information, you say what you want to the players.
Yeah, and
Yeah, I
hopefully
like
I feel like it's sometimes some DMs do it that way and some don't, but I feel like you get a more natural delivery when you kind of are just saying the stuff instead of reading this like prose. That's just me, but yeah, and so there are combats. I love the maps for this one.
Yeah, they're just really colorful. I love it.
I love it. This is my favorite one. This is a submarine that is owned by a goblin who's actually like a recurring character, and now he is in some of my writing. He's a goblin mage named Thelonious Brack.
There he is.
Did you do the artwork?
I didn't. My future wife did. She's sitting over there.
That's
Is
so
she there
awesome.
in the room with you? Oh, there you go.
She is, but she's like, don't show me.
Oh, the Arcane
Will you
Library
tell
has
her?
followed the stream. Thanks for the follow. Welcome to the stream.
Thank
Arcane
you,
Library.
yeah.
Her art is phenomenal.
Yeah,
Oh,
she's
thank
really
you.
good. I love her style.
She did the maps, yeah, and she's absolutely, honestly, she's the best. She's the best artist I've ever met in my life. She's so humble. She'll never say it, but she's this like classically trained fine artist who is just spectacularly good at everything.
Oh man,
And
that's awesome.
And
she
so
throws me a bone a lot with my stuff. She helps me out quite a bit.
And then you decided I'll just marry you because
Yeah, I was like, I can't let you get away. You know,
That's great. Yeah, so, and all the items, all the NPCs, of course, as we always do for the Fantasy Grounds, are all automated. All
Oh
their
my
stat
god,
blocks.
that map is gorgeous.
Look at that.
Thank you.
Oh, I love it.
She's so good. I can't stand how awesome she is. It's so great.
We all can't stand how awesome she is.
We can't stand it.
We can't stand it.
She's smiling.
But here, real quick,
Aw.
I'm sure the people would like to, perhaps they'd like to have the link to this on the DMs Guild. Duh, Rob,
yes,
why don't
please.
you-
Cool.
Yes, please. All right, let me go
Thanks.
get it. Collaborations 2020. It might be all the way at the bottom if I haven't re-alphabetized everything yet. It is not. Okay, so I alphabetized
Oh my
it,
god,
which
Rob,
means-
I could search it faster.
Yeah, you could, but not with my affiliate code. You can't.
Oh, wow.
It's
Well, you wouldn't get
the-
affiliate sales anyways because I buy everything with my DM's Guild earnings.
But you still get. I think you still do.
Boom.
Whatever. All right, I don't care. I'm just gonna.
No,
I'm just
you
gonna do it
actually
here.
don't get affiliate earnings when people use their DM's Guild account balance. It's in the fine print.
That's a lot of horseshit.
Oh.
I need to complain about that. Okay, there's the link, everybody. And okay, back
Thank
to the
you.
screen. Boom. Yeah, this art is fantastic, and a lot of fun creature pictures as well. And this is the people that you had play tested, or if you played it, do you know about how many hours the average play is for people to go through this, or you don't know that?
No, I did. I play tested it. I didn't have other play testers, so I actually play tested it in chunks. And I'm like the worst. I'm a stealth play tester, so my players don't know they're play testing my material that I'm working on. So I think altogether on average it's around 5 to 7 hours. It's definitely like probably 2 sessions worth of content.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
awesome.
It's fun. It's and the main villain is it a spoiler if I say that? Should I not say that?
Everybody cover your ears if you're planning on being a player, but yeah, go ahead, say it.
Yeah. Well, so I mean the main villain is kind of a classic like underwater villain. It's an aboleth, but it's a special aboleth with minions and things. So I wanted to use one of those guys as the bad guy, but have it be not just your run-of-the-mill like evil fish guy.
Right. Don't just be an evil fish guy.
Yeah, he has like cool power. He can make more powerful thralls than normal. There's evil kelp. The kelp that's underwater is anti-magic, so good luck with your water breathing spells. Good
Nice.
luck.
Yeah, you're gonna drown. You're gonna totally drown. If you guys have questions for Kelsey, type them in the chat and we'll ask her the questions. I know somebody had a question in Discord like 2 days ago. I don't remember the question or who the person was, but what I told them was, ask her yourself on the show on Sunday. I wish I could remember what the question was.
Oh, I saw it today because I hadn't been on Discord, so I saw it.
What was that question? Do you remember?
It was, am I going to include Fantasy Ground stuff for all of the things that I publish? And I would like to. It's tricky because I don't distribute most of my stuff on the DMs Guild, so I could. You guys probably know how best to accomplish that in that case.
If the PDF is not, I think I'm not 100% sure on this, but what I'm almost sure about is that if the PDF is not on the DMs Guild and is being sold elsewhere, you can't sell the Fantasy Grounds module on the DMs Guild. They both have to kind of be there. But what you can do is sell those in the Fantasy Grounds website store directly, which I can help you with. If you decide you want to do that, you just talk to me and I'll tell you how we
Thank
do
you. I don't have to do that.
If running over 2 sessions, is there a natural spot to split it? That was a question.
Good question. Yes, there is. There's a transition between the underground, the lower down cave portion that goes upwards into a more built out dungeon portion, and I think that transition point's a great place to stop. That's a little more than halfway through the adventure.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Robin, What are
Yes,
your
sir.
questions?
I'm actually looking at it right now. So come back to me in just a
Okay,
few
all right.
minutes.
So much pressure.
Um,
Someone asked, where do I distribute my stuff? I do through my web. I have a website and I distribute through there.
Yeah, and that website is Arcane Library, which I'll put it in the. Oh, it doesn't let me. So I found a Twitch bot flaw, which is normally what you type. Okay, here first let me type it in there.
Oh, thank you. The
Um,
link.
if you in the Twitch bot, if you hit the up arrow, you can go back to your last message. Like if you want to keep saying the same thing over and over, you can just up arrow, enter up arrow. But if something is longer than one line, you up arrow and it goes to that, and then you can't up arrow again because it goes up in the same thing and it doesn't recognize. I don't know. It was a weird thing. I've never known that before.
Ooh.
Also, Schmo, if you're posting a link, it's not going to work. I have links. Links only work for me for some reason. Even if you're a mod, you can't post a link. I don't know how to change it. I need somebody to help me. But type out what you meant, Schmo, and I'll fix it. I'll get it or whatever. Nobody
thanks.
panic. Everybody just calm down.
Schmo was posting the link.
Okay,
You could
I do have a question.
Oh, yeah.
But
Thank
no,
you.
go ahead. You were in the middle of saying something and I rudely cut you off.
No, not at all. I think someone was just saying the link doesn't work. You could in your web browser go to the arcanelibrary.com. That should work too.
I probably
Hopefully.
spelled it wrong.
Did you? No.
I don't know.
No, no.
Oh yeah,
You did it.
Yeah, it does
for
work. I clicked on it.
me.
It works.
Oh.
Oh, Furiate is in the chat, everybody. I see her in the chat now.
Hi.
She's not with us here, but she's in the chat. I don't know
Hi,
if she-
Fury. Hey, girl. Hey.
Hey, girl.
I
I
just
think it
had
sounds-
to get that out
I
at
don't
her.
think if it's creepy if I say it. Hey, girl.
Mhm.
You got it.
Okay, so Kelsey, for the first adventure in the set, the 2 set, on DM's Guild, when you buy it, I saw that there's only one listing. So I know Gwydion did the Fantasy Grounds conversion for that one. Is it just included in, I guess, the purchase of that, even though that one's pay what you want? It's all in one listing?
It's like it's all one file
okay.
type, which is funny because it's the first, it's interesting. It's the first thing I ever posted on any kind of public outlet. And so I feel like I had no idea what I was doing. So I just kind of
Okay.
like rolled it all into one zip file. And I still do it that way to this day for the most part. Like everything's all
Right.
one zip file. So
Here
that's how
comes
it is.
Furied.
No, that's awesome. A funny story. My very first DM's Guild product ever, I also did the exact same way. I put the PDF and the Fantasy Grounds mod, one listing. I was like, yep, good enough. Pay what you want. There you go.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
you can't really go wrong. It works,
That's
so.
right. Hey, girl. Hey.
Hi.
Hey, girl, hey.
I'm so sorry I'm late. My husband's doing a barbecue thing, so there's people over, and I had to kick them out, and I totally knocked over a guitar. I hope to God it's not broken.
Oh my God.
Oh no.
Well, we were talking about Kelsey's newest adventure that she put out, and we were going through it. And I know you were in the chat for probably a while. You probably caught up with us, but anyway, glad you're here. What else, Kelsey, would you like to let people know that we might have not talked about already?
Well, I think so. The adventure, even though it's a continuation of a prior adventure, you could play it as a standalone, which I think some people are happy about because if your character is already 8th level, you don't want to have to backtrack. So,
right.
The key would be changing the lighthouse keeper is the person who's in trouble, and he's the hook in a lot of cases for this adventure. So I would just trade the lighthouse keeper out with somebody who your characters care about. Because that whoever it is being arrested by Tritons for committing a crime. And so it doesn't have to be the lighthouse keeper. It could actually be anyone.
I like it.
Very good. And will there be the Skyhouse Lighthouse Goes to Space or some better aptly named sequel to that than that?
Maybe goes to the elemental plane of fire. No,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Sign me up.
I think there might, there might be. I've been thinking about what the story would look like following this one, so it's not out of the question. It might happen.
Well, I'm sure everybody
I would like
would
to
be
write it.
thrilled. Yeah,
Do you
It'd be
have-
fun. Oh, I turned the light on.
Do you have other adventures sort of in your like future plans or anything like that?
Yeah, I do. I'm working right now on a set of 4 full-length adventures. The bundle of horror is a set of 4 adventures that are horror themed, but those are all one-shots. They're meant to be played in one session, so they're shorter. So I'm working on a set of 4 adventures that are meant to be like multi-session each, like a little bit longer and built out. I have one completely done, and it's a secret. It's crazy because it's like completely done and it's sitting there like all ready to go, and I keep looking at it being like someday, like
Yes.
and then there's 3 other ones that I have 2 outlined, and then the third one I have no idea what it's going to be. No idea yet. So
Well, I can't wait.
yeah, and
Thank
the
you.
one that's a secret that's done, are you waiting for a specific reason, or like why is it a secret?
Yeah, because I know it's a secret. I'll tell you the name of it. It's
Ooh, yes.
it's called the Fangs of Watali, and it's a jungle setting adventure for 6 level characters. And it is, the reason I'm waiting is because I want to release all of those adventures together, like all 4 of them as a set, and then also individually. But I want to wait till they're all done so that that people could buy the whole set at a discount if they
Gotcha.
want. So, yeah, rather than do them one by one, I feel like people who want to invest in my stuff, they can get a better deal if they buy all 4 at the same time.
You're
so
the opposite of me. I have an
Yeah.
idea. Publish it. No, it's just an idea. Publish it.
nice.
Do it. Here's
That's
a
good
question.
though. You get stuff out.
I know. I'm quite the producer, actually.
Mhm.
I don't have any skills, but I do know how to publish. All right. Lensman has a question. What is your favorite class and/or race to write for?
And also what setting.
Yeah. What's your favorite
Oh,
setting
and
to write
setting.
for?
Oh, I missed that one.
Ooh, okay. Oh, so setting is okay. So of like official settings, I love Eberron, and I've never really written an adventure for it officially, but I love it. And someday I will, I hope. And then
Yes.
I like writing for broad generic set. Like I have kind of an internal logic to, like, I have an open world that I sort of write in, but it's not explicit so that people can put it in any adventure setting that they're using. But like after you write so many adventures, you kind of start to build up this internal logic to the worlds that you're writing about. Like characters sometimes reappear and like locations sometimes reappear. So like gods sometimes reappear. So that's kind of been fun to do. And then my favorite class and or race, I've never written character options. So I've only done adventures and supplements.
Okay.
So yeah,
then
I
what
haven't done that
class
yet.
and race do you like to play then?
My favorite to play is that's so hard.
I know it's hard, isn't it? I hate that question.
Not for me.
I know. I do love rogues and spellcasters. I love arcane tricksters. They're so fun. They have a little bit of everything. They're so
That's
great.
awesome.
My favorite is
What about you
Wizard.
guys? What are you?
I like Wizard, but
Wizard.
the older I get, the
Yeah.
lazier I get, and if I start a new campaign, I always think I'm going to be a wizard, and then I go, who am I kidding? I don't want to keep track of all the spells. I'll just be a barbarian. I can smash stuff.
Right.
That's
If I
usually what I
can't
end up
be
doing.
like
Yeah.
a wizard, I'll take druid. Druid's like a solid backup for wizard. But for me, I want all the spells. I want to be a nerd. I want a big ass spell book. Like, give me all that shit. Yep.
I love it.
I don't know. I go for something maybe easy or something I haven't played before, and then lately I've been like looking at crazy combinations, like a barbarian wizard or sorcerer wizard, so I can get ultimate spell casting.
I end up doing
Well,
that sometimes
cool.
too. I will pick some. I'll like, you know what? Let me play something I either haven't played or don't typically play, and then realize, oh no, I've locked myself into a 2-year campaign with this character. I gotta.
Yes.
Yeah. So
now they have to die if you want
Right.
to change. So.
yeah, they have to die.
You know,
But is there a class that you've never? Oh, what was that?
I was gonna say just get like a mimic out and then Rob would die.
Oh my god, the
Yep.
mimics. So yeah,
Are
have you
those
guys
your
are there classes you
Achilles?
guys haven't played? I haven't played an artificer, obviously. That's too new.
Right.
But
I've never played a monk ever. I don't know why.
Me neither. I don't like them.
Not
I
once.
think
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
I've dabbled in each class, in all 12 classes. There might be archetypes I haven't played, but yeah, monk takes a certain way of thinking to play a monk, you know, because you're so limited in certain ways, but you have fantastic powers once you level up a little bit.
Monks are like quite
Yeah.
possibly
lack
one
of
of the best
weapons of
classes
armor.
in 5th edition. I just don't like them.
They're good. One of
They
my
are very-
players is a monk, and he is just like he'll like walk up to any big bad guy and just be like, "I use all my key points," and then it's dead. Like it's really hard.
I use all my key points. That's funny.
Just all of them. Yeah. He's like the monster's stunned for like 19 turns, and I'm just like, all right. Yeah.
Man, I hate monks so much.
So that's why
Oh man. I don't know. I think everything's so awesome. I don't have any more questions. I'm out of questions.
I love it. I want more. I already bought it.
I know I'm a little bit late, but I don't know if somebody asked this, but who does your artwork?
Oh, wait till you
Oh,
hear
thank you.
this.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Like, so this is a tie. So I actually do use a fair amount of stock art, because there's a lot of really high quality stock art that you can get. And so I'll often use stock art. I usually use stock art that the license allows you to alter it. So a lot of stock art I have is Photoshop to fit the adventure. However, my fiance, future wife, I keep calling her my Beyonce to mess with her, and she doesn't like that. So I'm like, my Beyonce is she does cartography for me a lot, and also cover art photoshopping in some cases if I'm using like a piece of reference art. But she does the coolest stuff for me. The cool art in there, she does that. So she's amazing, absolutely amazing.
She did all the
Aw,
ships,
that's
all the
sweet.
water drawings that we saw in the ship.
So
stuff.
good.
Yeah, really fun.
Freaking amazing.
Thank
And
you.
I somehow, I don't know
She's so
why,
good.
but I'm not necessarily attracted to sea adventures. I mean, I do like them, but when I see a map that has water in it, I freak out. I'm like, I must do all of this, whatever it is, I have to do it.
Are you hydrophobic?
Yes.
I'm not afraid of water, but I just like the blue, the way the ocean looks when the ship's there. and
Right.
whatever.
Yeah. It's so nice.
It's pretty. It's different, you know?
Yeah.
Yes. There's a question in chat from Clowork. They would like to know, where do you get your stock art from?
Yeah, so I mean, a lot of places. Shutterstock is a huge, very reputable stock art
Yep.
place. There's smaller ones that you want to check the licensing for on the particular, pieces that you're getting. Drive-Thru RPG has some really great
Yeah.
stock art. You have to dig around
Yes.
for it, but they have great stuff on there. And it's always, I think it's always important to check the particular terms of use of each piece of stock art, because like if you're trying to find a piece to use for your cover, but you're not allowed to edit the piece, then it's much more difficult to make it fit sometimes. So that all comes into play. I love Shutterstock a lot. Love it.
Yeah, Vex is saying Pixabay is a place.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Yep.
I've always found
Mhm.
for Pixabay, though, you have to go like on really deep dives to get like what you need. I use Adobe stock myself because I have it as part of my subscription bundle. But
Nice.
Shutterstock's really good too, and I would probably go on a limb and say that Shutterstock is probably better than Adobe stock art, and they cost the same. So for people who
Oh,
are interested
wow.
in that, yeah, Shutterstock is really good.
I haven't used Adobe's as much, so I kind of probably should. I should really like dive into what's on Adobe because
It's pretty good.
it's
I
pretty
think Shutterstock's
good. Yeah.
probably better though.
Yeah.
Well,
It all
and
requires diving. I think like I'll spend
Yes.
full days looking for art sometimes.
Yeah, just
you
for
know?
one piece that you need. Yeah.
Mhm.
That's
Mhm,
part of the
mhm,
thing. It's crazy.
mhm.
For sure.
All right. Well. Oh, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna give away one of these.
No, me.
How? What? Stop. What happened? I'm
Me.
panicking. Okay,
I'm going
Robin
to.
is going to give away. Robin is going to give away to one lucky winner a Kelsey's module that we made for Fantasy Grounds.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna buy it and I'm gonna gift it to whoever wins.
Yay! All right.
Thank you.
Let's
Yes.
let's look at my thing that does the thing. Everybody knows what I'm talking about here. Wait, that's not it either. Which one is it? Here it is. All right. So I'm gonna run a raffle in the chat.
Ooh, while you're setting that up, Vex brings up a really good point. DM's Guild does have free stock art, but it comes with a stipulation that you can't modify any of the artwork.
Yeah.
If we're talking about the Wizards of the Coast provided stock art, you can't modify them. You and you can only use them in products that go onto the DM's Guild. So those are their stipulations.
Yes. That's a thing, and I don't know if this is true, but I imagine that it's extremely saturated, the art usage on there now. Like
yes.
everyone uses the same one. So I mean, like it has its benefits. So I mean, it really is really nice art. So
yeah,
mhm.
I've even noticed. I've noticed that there are some people, some PDFs I've seen by the same author, and they'll reuse the same WotC art, which is fine, you know. I totally get it, especially if you're like first starting out, you can't afford a big art budget or whatever. But they are very heavily used in DM's Guild products for sure.
Okay, everybody. I've started the timer. If you would like to enter the drawing, type in !Kelsey in the chat. Oh, and by the way, Kelsey's last name is pronounced Dionne, not Dionne. No, it's Dionne. Remember, we practiced this. You're gonna say that to me right now.
We did.
It's the same as Celine Dion, right? It's not Dion, it's Dionne. So
yes.
You're
right.
Get it right, everybody.
It's just like Celine, my aunt Celine.
Your
just
Aunt
kidding.
Celine Dion.
Yeah, right. If only.
Do people ever ask you that? Do people say, like, is that your aunt or anything? Like, do people ask you that?
I've had some people like notice the same pronunciation. I think she spells it differently. I think she drops the last N and the E, but it is funny. There's a set. Okay, so this is crazy. There's a really famous set of quintuplets called the Dionne quintuplets with the same spelling. And I am a triplet. And so people ask sometimes if I am related to the Dionne quintuplets and if they're like multiples run in our family. And I don't actually know if I'm related to them, but I mean, maybe. I don't know.
That's pretty weird that there's quins.
What if you are?
Wow. That's
yeah,
crazy.
what if? I don't know. I don't know.
You have two sisters that are just another copy of you. That's crazy.
They're
they could be fraternal. You don't know if they're identical.
I don't know.
Yeah.
True. We are actually not. We're all pretty different looking. So
really?
that was nice because yeah, thankfully. But I mean, you can tell we're sisters. But
and when you were kids,
we have the same voice.
Wear the same outfit. Yeah, the same voice. That's crazy. Yeah. You call your mom and try to trick her. Who is this?
Oh yeah.
Okay. We got a few more
that
seconds.
sounds like so much fun.
All right, here we go. I'm gonna draw
It
the
is.
winner.
It was great.
The winner of the module that Robin will be giving to someone is Gorvidal. Congrats, Gorvidal.
Hi, Gorvidal.
You know how to send Robin a PM in Discord and give her your DM's Guild email and she'll hook you up.
Slide into my DMs.
Nice.
Did you just say the phrase slide into my DMs?
I did. I'm trying to
I'm
keep
the
up
only
with
man
young
on the
people
call right
nowadays.
now, so I just need to fan myself a little bit here. A lot of estrogen from the other side over there.
Oh my god.
I have enough estrogen.
I
don't
misuse
worry about it.
those. I like never know what those mean, so I misuse them. Like I've definitely embarrassed myself, like in front of family members, being like, "Hey, you guys, y'all want to watch Netflix and chill tonight?" And
one of my hobbies
I'm glad
is
I know what that one means.
being involved and hopefully in person, not just on like a Discord call or something, but being in the room during socially awkward situations. I fucking love that. I love it.
Aww.
And I usually am not the cause, but if it happens, I will exacerbate the shit out of that situation.
Oh no.
He
sounds like that.
He's trying to ask the question. The kelp you've talked about before, would it exclude potions?
Ooh, good question. Okay, so that I thought about that when I was writing it, and I wanted to leave that up to the DM's decision ultimately. So technically, like any magic items that it touches, would definitely lose their magic potency, but I didn't want to get too specific on listing out exactly what magic items are affected and which aren't, because I think you could make the argument either way. So I think if the kelp touches a potion, for sure, but if the person just possesses the potion and they get touched with the kelp, then perhaps not. Especially because they'll really die if they're that far underwater with like no potions of water breathing or anything.
But if you want to run it that way, by all means.
Yeah.
You can.
You can do what you want. Lensman,
And then I get angry emails about how my writing TPK'd their group. It's happened, so
it's part of the thing. You can't avoid it. Lensman wants to know, Kelsey, what writers
Just blame it on the DM.
or stories have inspired your writing?
Oh, so I love sword and sorcery fiction. That always inspires me, as far as we're talking about like I love the Conan the Barbarian stories. I know that they have some problems in them sometimes, depending. Like there are some extremely not cool depictions of people in there that are not always awesome.
Extremely
so
not cool.
Extremely
I know
not.
what you mean. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and I mean the same for H.P. Lovecraft. But I mean, you take from it what you will. You don't have to endorse that stuff necessarily. So there's some elements of that writing that I really enjoy. I enjoy the stuff that's not uncool. So,
right.
And then, let me think. Oh, what else? Some adventure writers. I think some of the best adventure writers that I really admire, and who I get a lot of inspiration from are Harley Stroh. Writes for Dungeon Crawl Classics primarily, and he is a spectacular adventure writer. Like absolutely amazing. Like reading his work, it's like it transports you to another world. It's like he writes difficult, dangerous dungeons, and they're like very unforgiving, but also super exciting and like thematic. And so I would definitely check out Harley Stroh. And then I love Bruce Cordell as a writer as well
Bruce
for D&D.
Oh, I love it.
Yes. He's
like
so,
one of my favorite,
like,
top 5 easily.
Yeah, he's absolutely. I know, and oh my gosh, and he's like, he's if you tweeted him, he'll like tweet back at you. He's super nice. I don't know him, but he's tweeted back at me a few times, and I'm like, every time I'm like, shot it, like
yeah,
he's awesome.
Make
it. I know. Yeah,
that's so cool.
Oh man.
So you guys like know authors and stuff. I don't really read per se, so I don't really know. Yeah.
I mean, it's like anything in life, though, Rob. If you do something that you are really passionate about, you tend to follow people on social media who also do that thing. So
do I?
Like the other day when I just about died because Devin Knight followed me on Twitter. I had a big old thing about that because it's just something I'm passionate about, following artists and trying to do art or whatever. So I get what she's saying. If you are following somebody on Twitter that you really look up to and you appreciate the work they do, if they even like take a moment to talk to you, it feels good,
Yes, I have not heard back from Sarah Silverman, so
there you go.
The only time
I
do have a Sarah Silverman story. I love her so much. She bumped into me at the Hollywood Improv. Literally crashed into me in the lobby. It was packed with people. That's why she crashed into me. I'm sure she didn't do it because she wanted to. And I had never talked to her, and she goes, "Oh, I'm sorry, Rob. I didn't mean to do that." And I'm like, "Oh my fuck, she knows my name. What is happening?" And I melted down because I knew. I knew her sister. I knew her sister Laura a little bit. I had talked to Laura a few times, but I'd never talked to Sarah. And then I must have been on stage that night, and she saw me and just remembered what my name was or whatever, and thought, "Oh, that's a comedian. I should know his name." But I was flabbergasted, and then she smelled really nice. And then I never talked to her again.
Good to know.
Yeah, she smells nice. She did this thing on Red Nose Day the other day where she interviewed herself. It was hilarious. Anyway.
Oh my gosh.
Comedians.
Nice.
Coronavirus, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Why it
because the whole show was everybody just at their house, right? It was.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh man.
Harley Stroh, yes.
Is Wizards they're doing like a big Red Nose Day event that they just announced, right?
Yes.
I got an
I
email
forgot the
and
dates
I didn't.
already.
And isn't there some secret thing they're supposed to be telling us soon?
Oh
or
my
when everybody's
god.
like,
So
what is it?
people
What
were
is it?
talking about that on Twitter, like a whole bunch. So they said in one of the promo material thing that they released for it that they were gonna show the new setting and talk about the new storyline, which by that they mean Adventures League storyline. During D&D Live, and people were arguing on Twitter whether it was Theros, like are they talking about the Theros book? Is Theros
Yeah.
getting its own Adventures League line, or is it a totally unannounced new setting, new storyline for Adventures League? But yeah, there was like huge
Yeah, I
discussion about
saw a
that.
bunch of tweets where people were like, it's 6E, it's 6th edition. And I
Oh,
didn't
no.
respond, but I felt like going, wrong,
Oh,
wrong,
Yeah, no,
wrong
it's
to
not
every tweet,
6th
wrong. It's
edition.
not that. They're not going to do 6th
please,
edition
no,
for so
yeah.
many years. They're
I
just
highly
not.
doubt that.
I know.
5th edition is so successful, they're
I'm
going
like-
to change it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
there's
think
no
it's
point to-
Theros.
yeah.
That's where my prediction is. I think that what they meant by that line is I think they're going to talk about the Theros book, and maybe Theros is getting Adventures League content. That'd be weird because I don't think they do Adventures League outside of Forgotten Realms, but we'll see.
When
I
is
guess.
this announcement supposed to be happening?
I don't know. That's what I was like, I forgot what the dates were. It's June something. Somewhere
Okay,
in that
'cause
ballpark.
Yeah,
June 2nd is the
Definitely in
release of
June.
Theros in digital form, and then
Exactly.
July 21st
Well,
is the
that's why
hardback or
it's
something.
weird. Why would they be talking about the Theros book and storyline
No, but
after it comes out?
some
I don't
other
know.
some other speculation has been that it's going to be some completely new thing that they haven't even said anything about yet. So It could
Exactly.
be that.
Yeah. So I don't know.
everyone's
we'll
like
find
Dark
out.
Sun. Yeah.
I really wish they would
See in the chat.
do Planescape. Not Planescape.
Dragonlance.
No, not Dragonlance.
Yes, Dragonlance. That's what you meant to say.
Spelljammer. Wow, I don't know why it took me
Oh,
so long to think of that, but yes,
Oh
Spelljammer.
yeah, people have been. I mean, I don't know, but like it would be really cool if they did because they've been hinting at it already. Isn't there a Spelljammer in Waterdeep? There's one. Doesn't Jarlaxle have a Spelljammer?
You're right. I think he does. And also the fact that they made a
Yeah.
Mordenkainen's Tome of Foes, that book at all, like that book can't even exist technically unless there's some form of spelljamming because some of the monsters in there are yeah. We need spelljamming
And
for
doesn't
sure.
I bet it's gonna happen.
Mhm.
we haven't got there yet, but doesn't Dungeon of the Mad Mage have a Spelljammer like crash ship in one of the really low levels down there? I don't know. I think it does.
It
I
does
think
actually.
so, yeah.
I believe.
I haven't run that one
Mhm.
fully yet, so I don't know.
Yeah,
I know,
Jared
me
and I are
neither.
playing. We're on level like some kind of 12 or whatever. It's not that far, but
13, I think.
I
is
wanna
where
run
the
it.
party went down.
run it, Robin.
You know,
do it.
next year.
I can't. So like my Saturday group would never want to do that. So I can't run it.
You know what
Yeah.
you can do?
I know.
You can start a different group with
I
all different people.
Oh, but we've talked about this before. In general, aside from that Wendy's game that doesn't count, I have never really actually played like DM'd for people other than the same people I've been DMing for 4 years. So for me, I get too nervous about like running for new people. So I will happily play in somebody else's Dungeon and Mad Mage game, but I doubt that I'll ever get a chance to DM it. That's fine though. I'm okay with it.
It's
I'm
a
actually-
particular like your players have to love the dungeon crawl resource management
Yes.
thing, and my players would not be. They wouldn't really want to do that. They just
Yeah.
They wanna
they
murder
just
everything.
don't like being confined.
Kelsey, your
Like-
camera has
like-
really gotten to be. I mean, it's fine, but
Grainy.
but it's also like it's like a stop motion for you.
Yeah, it's like you're modeling almost, and we're getting like stills.
Really?
Yeah, I love it. It's awesome.
Well,
Um,
I just ruined it.
I'll
I'm
just
sorry.
make
Lisbon does have a
I'll make a
question.
terrible face. Oh yeah.
And I hate to like interrupt the flow, but he wants to know this. Do you create music playlists for your adventures or to listen to while you're writing?
I'm so glad you asked me that. Thank you, because I find music to be one of the most inspiring things possible. And like for me, I get a lot of ideas for what I write from music. So I like dramatic stuff. Okay, this is crazy, but I'm obsessed right now with this like flamenco singer. It's like modern flamenco, and like I'm absolutely obsessed because I'm like the last to the game on this person. She released an album in 2018 that's like the retelling of this like medieval classical story, like an actual story that's like about this like love triangle and stuff. And she like modernized and released this concept album about that book, and it's like pop flamenco, and listening to it is so dramatic, and it gives me these ideas for like dramatic scenes and like how to inject like energy and emotion into stuff. So like I am such a geek. I love that kind of thing. I love listening to emotional music that is like inspiring and makes you really like wowed by it, you know. Her name is Rosalia, so you can check her out.
I'm looking.
Prepare for weirdness.
Rosalia, everybody.
Rosalia.
You have to roll the
Rosalia.
R.
It has an accent on the I. Sorry.
If you can't roll the R, you're not allowed to listen. I'm sorry.
No, yeah, you can't.
Rude.
No.
Rude.
It's weird music, but it's cool. And if you want to go like spelunking into like serious, I'll spell it for you. It's Rosalia.
Sound it out.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I had to wait for the accent. It's like her, if you really want to like get into this, like her album, her concept album, like there is so much to it. There's so much story. There's so much like history about flamenco. I like flamenco. I lived in Spain for 5 years, and I really like feel very passionate about flamenco, and because it's beautiful. It's so dramatic. I think it's like one of the most dramatic music forms, and so it's just cool. And like you can really go down a rabbit hole, like learning about the references and like the story she's telling, and she's singing from the perspective of a man and a woman at different points depending on which song. Like there are music videos that are like art, like true art pieces. So this lady is like incredible, and I'm done freaking out. I've been freaking out about it for like 2 weeks, and my fiance is like, "Stop talking about Rosalia."
But it's awesome.
You gotta
it's something
spread
that
the word
you're
on
passionate about.
stuff you
Yeah.
like. Exactly. I was gonna say right. What
So
she
there you
said.
go, and you will feel drama and inspiration when you listen to it. I hope so.
Cool. Well,
Already added it to my Spotify.
I've just informed everyone in the chat that right before we end the show, I'm gonna give away another copy of Kelsey's module, courtesy of me, to people.
Awesome.
And to a person. So don't leave, everybody. You don't run away. As soon as we give the prize away, don't leave. And then we are going to play Jackbox games after the show. So for those of you that are curious about that, we are doing that tonight. At least I will be. And that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm trying to end the show. I'm just saying that to people so they don't leave. Don't leave. Woot.
Yay.
Woot.
Woot.
Oh man, these maps are so gorgeous. I just
Aren't they?
can't.
Oh,
I
my
can't
God.
stop. Like
Here, I
they're
want to show
so
those
good.
again.
Something to aspire to.
Maps.
They're amazing.
So I'll just start opening stuff. Oh, the cover. I already had that open too.
So did your fiance also do the cover art for this one?
You need her Beyonce.
She both. She's both to me. She that was actually a piece of stock art that I found that I thought was just like amazing, because there were tritons in what I was writing anyway, and so that being looks very much like how I would imagine a triton.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, when I saw that, I was like, I have to use this. And that is actually probably the least edited cover I've ever used, because the art was already so perfect from the start.
Okay.
So
it's amazing.
Yeah, amazingly.
Yeah, it's really
it's cool. That was a really nice one.
I also enjoy the way you do the titles and have like the glow around it, the outline of it. I just like that. I don't know.
Oh, thanks.
I'm taking notes.
Little details like that make me
so
happy.
Good.
Thank you. I gotta thank. I mean, Jessie. She's over there. She'll never come on camera, but she definitely has a hand in almost all of the art decisions that I make, and so she suggests a lot of these things, and she's just truly spectacular. I think if you like build a relationship of some kind. You don't have to necessarily marry the artist like I'm doing, but if you build a good working relationship with an artist,
just get you
Yeah,
a
'cause
lover
then
I
who
thought
can
that
do
was the
art.
formula. You got in cahoots with the artist and work together, and then you make an adventure, and she does the artwork, and then the end of that is that you're supposed to marry them. I thought that's how it worked.
It's
what-
like
I mean,
courting.
if it was a Rosalia song, that's how it would go. So I'm just saying, no.
there actually, funny enough, there was a study. I'll dig it and I'll give everybody the link later. But there was a study done that in romantic pairings, they actually tend to be more successful when one person is really hyper creative and the other person is hyper logical, like more whatever the opposite of creative is. People who are more business minded or more technology minded or that kind
Yeah.
of stuff. There was some study done at, I want to say it was at some Ivy League school that I don't remember which one. But yeah, they said that in romantic pairings, they tend to be more successful in like a long-term relationship when one person is hyper creative and the other person is hyper logical.
So kind of like that whole opposites attract thing.
Yeah, something,
Well, there's
to
only-
balance each other
Robin,
out or
there's only
whatever.
8 Ivy League schools, so if you guess which one, you'll have a 12.5% chance.
I don't know.
I guess we know
don't
which
remember.
guy I am in the relationship, right? I'm all about the numbers.
I don't know.
I
And
think, yeah.
I always like look at my own life when I read stuff like that on the internet and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, it's just like me," because my husband is not very creative, but he works in the tech industry and so he's like super smart and I'm like not that smart at all. But I'm always
Oh my
like
gosh.
doodling and listening to music and like that's my thing. And he's like
Nice.
incredibly like super logical, like the way he thinks, the way he does everything is all about, well, does that make sense? Is that fiscally responsible? Like that kind of, he's
Oh,
that
yeah.
kind of guy. I love it
That's
though. Like I love that
awesome.
about him. Yeah.
I feel like I can see that because, like, by comparison, I am not the artist. Like, Jesse is definitely, like, the spectacular artist. And so I feel like, and I did used to work in tech. And so I feel like maybe my side of things, or I'm a little bit more of the, like, process-driven business, like, logical. And
Yes.
she's, like, this, like, amazing, like, undefinable artist who's, like, she does everything. She does, like, music. She does everything. So she's...
Awesome. See?
Yeah, I'm like, I'm just like, you're so good at everything.
Right?
Yeah.
Now everybody at home, think about your marriage. No, I'm kidding.
All right. Hey,
Yeah.
honey, you want to come in here and say hi to everybody? Come on. Yeah, guess what? There's nobody
Aw.
there.
Sorry, Rob.
There's not even a pet. One tear.
He needs to get a dog. He needs to
Yes, get a dog
I
or
can't.
get a
I
cat.
can't get a dog or a cat. I can't.
I know.
I am medically unallowed to do that.
Can you have a lizard? I've been wanting to ask you that for a while.
I
Can
can
you have like
probably
a
have a
lizard or a
goldfish
snake?
or something that's in a
Oh.
tank.
There you
I
go.
actually what I can have is I can have
have.
I can have any pet that doesn't require me to clean up after it. So whatever that, I don't know if a lizard requires. Does the lizard just find a way to get out of the
You like
house?
a robo dog?
A what?
A lizard.
A robo dog.
A robo
Oh,
dog?
I have a robot
seriously
dog.
have those.
Aw.
My husband built like a little robot and it kind of looks like a dog. So I could send you that.
There's also those other little robots that they react to your voice and respond to you and stuff. They're like little cubes and they're really fucking adorable. Because
I think the robot dog is a recipe for me waking up in the middle of the night and getting the shit scared out of me and having a heart attack and dying. I think that's what that's for.
What is this thing? I know.
Very-
Oh, pet rocks
Bex
are
will
cute.
send you
though.
his
My
pet rock.
yeah, they're very
rocks.
inoffensive. They just hang out with you and watch
Mhm.
you. Like
That's it. That's
they're
all
happy
they
to
do.
be there.
That's
Yep.
right. And I'm so sorry we missed a question in chat and you, Kelsey, were answering it in chat.
Oh, I
man,
saw
we
it come
should do
through.
Yeah.
It's one of my obsessions right now, so I had to immediately. It was a question about Rosalia, so I was like, "I'll answer. Don't worry." One of my
That's
current
awesome.
obsessions.
That's awesome. Just take initiative.
Multitask.
Yep. There we go. But oh man, my dad once he's a retired land surveyor, and he was once paid to survey a cemetery for pet rocks, like
What?
specifically for pet rocks. And he was like, okay, you know, and he did it, you know.
Fucking rich people.
There's like a need
My
for
God.
that. That's amazing.
That's some white
Yeah,
rich
yeah, he
people
was like-
stuff right there.
I know. I had to ask him when that was because it was during the pet rock like craze, and so I
The
mean,
80s or
maybe it was
whatever,
someone's
yeah.
business idea. Yeah,
Right.
but
Like with pets and shit.
Right.
yeah.
But they actually
That means
bought like a
somebody
plot of
bought the
land and went through the
land.
whole.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that is so
Yeah,
funny.
I gotta get the details because that's he's got some weird stories about his job experiences, but that one I was like, that's interesting.
That's freaking hilarious, is what that. You should write an
Mhm.
adventure about that.
Yeah,
That's what I
maybe
would
there's
do.
someone will have a pet rock. Yeah.
The
The
title
ghosts
writes
of these
itself. The
rocks.
title's called Rock Cemetery. There you go, right there.
And
Yeah.
instead of your typical cemetery adventure, there's no undead. This one's all earth elementals. Like, oh come
Oh
on,
my
you can do it.
gosh.
But they're really
Let's
tiny. They're little
write
tiny
it.
earth elementals.
Oh, little ankle biters.
Yeah, they're like
Ankle
maybe they
biters.
swarm you. That's
Yes.
yeah.
That's their
I
main
need this
attack
ankle
is
biter.
the ankle bite.
So that's like horrible. That's like a horrible idea. I mean, not like, for a DM's perspective, but for a player's perspective, that would be such a bitch to fight
Right.
with.
You know, the paladin
Yeah.
going in would be like, all right, I'm ready for some undead. And then, oh shit, there's nothing but earth elementals
Yeah.
here. Like, oh man, that
A
would be so
tiny
And like,
one.
gross.
how do you
That's
get
more.
rid of them? You can't like wave a torch at them or something. You have to like blast them with water or something to get them off of you. Like that's like
It's already writing itself.
I need
Just
this.
get
There you
I
go.
need it now.
You gotta
got our
balance
boss
that.
fight.
Oh my God,
Oh,
hilarious.
man, my
Uh,
face hurts now.
I know. Right from smiling.
Me too, me too. I'm actually laughing so hard.
That was good.
Oh man.
All right, I'm gonna give away another thing.
guys.
Let's do it. Everyone's gonna love it. All I have to do is find
Yay.
Here it is, right here.
I'm thinking
Reset.
maybe I should put together a group and try and run this for channel peeps.
Yeah, even if it's just a small, experiment.
Uh-huh. Because now that I have it, I want to run it. Like,
People
that's my
outside of-
problem. I buy
Okay,
it, I
guys.
want to do it.
Yes.
Enter keyword Kelsey for
Yay.
the second drawing, and I will give somebody, whoever wins, I will give them the Corruption of Skyhorn Lighthouse.
Mhm.
Mr.
Fantasy
Really
Grounds
good.
That is
module
nice of you guys.
for free.
That's so nice of you all.
That's how we do it. Actually, we usually, every
Yeah.
Sunday that we do the show, we usually give away some prizes in some form or another. But it's
Yep.
Nice.
apropos to give away something regarding our guest.
Yeah, and it's like a win-win
Thanks.
because you get paid and they get content, so everybody's happy.
Aw. Well,
That's the
thank
way it
you.
should
That's-
be.
That is so nice of you guys. I have to get, I finally successfully installed Fantasy Grounds because my computer is the kind that fights it.
Oh yeah, it's a Mac.
So yeah, so it'll be I'm excited to actually like get more proficient at Fantasy Grounds now and like really see how magical it is,
It is
It's
pretty crazy,
amazing.
and it's amazing how many people don't know about it or aren't, like the group of people that knows about D&D and that actively either plays or buys material or is somehow peripherally involved with D&D in general, 5th edition, is probably about 20 million people. And the amount of people that are involved with Fantasy Grounds is maybe 230,000. So it's a really small niche. But it's a passionate community, and they love the material. They want to get more stuff for it. So
Indeed.
yeah.
You want to put up the thing so people can see if they're in the
Oh yeah.
giveaway.
Well, once it gets down to the bottom, though, anybody that goes after that you can't see anyway. But yeah, everybody's should be there. It's over. Okay.
I'm just saying.
The winner is Tom Knapp. Yeah, congrats, Tom. You know what to do.
Yay, Tom!
Tom Knapp, you send me a PM in Discord. You know how to do it. And I'll get you that tonight after the show. And congrats to Tom. And,
Yay, Tom!
Let's do final words, everybody. Robin or Fury, do you have any more questions for Kelsey that we didn't ask her?
When's the next adventure coming out? I'm
Yay!
kidding.
No, it's a good. I mean, I have to as soon as I write it. No, as soon as I get done writing the next three, you know. So
They're always in sets of 4.
Yes.
that's what I'm gonna aim for. Yeah, I'm gonna try to do that. But hopefully, I would really like to get them done by the end of the summer. That's kind of my aim. So hopefully sooner if I am able to, push them through. So I'll say midsummer, and then I'll try my best to hold myself to that.
Yes, I like it.
Very good.
Yay!
Excellent. Anything from you, Furied?
No, but
Okay.
I do hope that you and your Beyonce get married soon, and y'all have a lovely wedding and life together.
Thank you.
I mean,
That's so
it
nice
sounds
of you.
good to
Thank
say
you.
that you're going to be marrying Beyonce. I mean, not the Beyonce, but yeah, it sounds good. Well, Kelsey, thank you so
She's
much.
my Beyonce.
That's right. She's your own personal
Aw.
Beyonce. Thank you so much for coming. We had a good time. It was fun with you, and I'm glad we got to share with our audience on Sunday night your creation and give them a chance to look at it, and hopefully they'll all run and go buy it right now is what I hope happens.
I
And-
mean, she
thank
does have
you.
a
Thanks
freebie on
for-
her website if y'all want to taste,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And don't forget Arcane Library. ArcaneLibrary.com or the ArcaneLibrary.com. Because why? She's smart and she bought both URLs. That's why.
Oh, the smartest thing I ever did. But no, thank you. It's been so fun to talk with you guys. Thanks for having me on the show and
Yeah, absolutely. And you're
doing
welcome,
all this.
You're welcome back to come anytime you want to come back on the show to show us new stuff, or just come back on the show whenever you want. You're a lovely,
Yes.
lovely guest.
Yay!
Yay!
Thank
Come
you.
back soon.
All right, everybody.
Yay!
We are gonna. I am gonna end the stream, and then we will be back in 5 or 10 minutes or so to play Jackbox games. I think it's called Jackbox games, not Jackbox, like I just said. I like to call attention to my own errors because I know what I'm doing. But anyway, thanks to Kelsey, thanks to Robin and Furied, and we'll be back, everybody. So until then, good gaming, everyone.